everyone, welcome back to another episode of our bizarre and unusual world. So Valentine's Day is upon us, so in today's episode, I'm going to be covering the idea of soulmates. As usual, I will be covering the who, what, when, where, why, and how of soulmates. So there are many different definitions and terms for soulmates. It's going to kind of depend on your own beliefs, your culture, your religion. So just some basic definitions of soulmate are a person ideally suited for a close friend or a romantic partner. A soulmate is a person with whom one has a feeling of deep or natural affinity. This may involve similarity, love, romance, platonic relationships, comfort, intimacy, sexuality, sexual activities, spirituality, compatibility, and trust. So who exactly believes in soulmates? Well, anyone can believe in soulmates, and it's also going to vary on your different beliefs of what version you believe of soulmates. Some people have a very serious look at it, like they are looking for their true love and all that romance, while other people take soulmates as kind of more of a relaxed vibe, kind of a joke as we all search for our soulmate out there. But the belief and the idea has been around for years and years. Just some examples of some people that believed in soulmates over the past centuries. The ancient Egyptians, it's in Greek mythology, and it's also even kind of hinted at in Christianity. So where and when can you find these references within those specific groups that do believe in the term soulmates? So in Egypt mythology, dating back to 2000 BC in the Book of the Dead, this suggests that the soulmates came from the split souls theory. It started as a model of two gods who in turn angered the other gods, and so they were split into two. In turn, making these now humans wander the earth searching for their other half so that they could feel complete again. In Greek mythology, dating back to 600 BC, philosophers Solon, Thales, and Plato studied, learned, and researched the idea of soul splitting as well, connecting to the idea of gods punishing the humans once more and splitting the souls. In 400 BC, after studying in Egypt, Plato kind of wrote his idea of the term soulmates, and kind of the gist of his essay was, our ancestors once had 2 heads, 4 arms, and supposedly 1 soul. They did something to offend a god. Potentially these humans were punished for their pride. So that god, possibly Zeus, punished them by splitting them down the middle, resulting in the creation of humans. As a punishment, we are condemned to spend our lives searching for the other half, our soulmates. Another work of Plato's that has been dissected kind of suggests some more thoughts and opinions on the ideas of humans being punished and soulmates being created. They were powerful and ambitious, and in order to reduce their strength, Zeus had them cut in 2. Afterward, the split pairs clung together in a desperate attempt to reunite. Zeus took pity on their incurable longing and created intercourse, allowing the separated halves to temporarily experience the ecstasy of completion again. But in another piece of Plato's from 375 BC, it suggests that the idea of soulmate is much greater than just the connection through sex. The intense yearning which lovers have towards each other does not appear to be the desire for sexual intercourse, but for something else which the soul of each desires and cannot tell, and of which he or she has only a dark and doubtful intuition. A German thinker named Johann Goethe also studied some of Plato's work and kind of came up with his own thoughts as well, suggesting that these long-lost souls were in fact destined for each other. And that these specific people would have headaches on the opposite side of their head because once upon a time they were conjoined and they shared the same brain, but when they were split, created the soulmates. There are a lot of different stories and theories surrounding like the gods being angry at the humans and so splitting them up to basically punish them. In one version, it also suggests that it created like androgynous souls, where they would have part male and part female souls. And when they found each other again, they would be able to fuse together and be complete once more. Now, while the Christian Bible doesn't outright say that yes, soulmates exist, there are some people that have found some scripture that they believe kind of hints at the idea of soulmates being a thing. Samuel 18:1. And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own. Deuteronomy 13:6. Thy friend, which is as thine own soul. Song of Solomon 3:4. I have found the one whom my soul loves. So those are just a couple scriptures that Christians have found that kind of make them believe that soulmates exist within the Bible. In the 1950s, a somewhat controversial kind of New Age followers actually suggested that soulmates had a lot to do with the soul chakra, which if you believe in different chakras, that would kind of make sense. In Jewish beliefs, there is the word bashert, which basically translates to destiny. This notion suggests that every Jewish person has a soulmate selected for them before they are even born by the Creator. Someone that fully completes you and is your soulmate. And many people connect these terms to a spouse or a loved one that you are destined to have or the one that fate has in store for you. Other theories suggest that love is unexplainable. That true love is in fact ideal, but we could still find it in various forms and possibly in different places and in different people. So with that theory, does that mean that you could have multiple soulmates? So how do people think of soulmates today in modern times? So today, most of the time, soulmate refers to a romantic partner that you want to spend the rest of your life with. It is all surrounding love and romance and finding your true person, your soulmate, all of that jazz. It doesn't so much have to do with soul splitting anymore. And the term soulmates definitely comes up more this time of the year as we come closer to Valentine's Day. Everybody is about the love and the romance. But in today's modern times, we also can sometimes relate soulmates to friendships. Finding a true friend in a platonic relationship that you may still consider to be your soulmate because of the strong connection, but it's not necessarily about romance. In a 2016 scientific study, it discovered that 73% of Americans believe in soulmates. Now, guys actually ended up believing in it more than women did. The guys were at 74% believers and the women were at 71% believers. But there is no real science that can tell us if for fact we all have a soulmate out there, if soulmates are real. It's just going to depend on you, your beliefs, how you grew up, your culture. It depends on so many different things and kind of which version of soulmates you believe in. And kind of in today's world, the idea of passionate soulmates that some of this mythology is all about, searching the world for your other half, it's kind of become a joke because, think about it, in movies and TV, the idea of finding your soulmates is a bit of a laugh.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Oh, yes, I do. I believe that there is one perfect person out there for everyone. And you know how you find him? You stop looking for him. That's why I've stopped looking for Russell Crowe. He'll find me.
So why? Why do we as humans believe in soulmates? Is it all about finding that epic romance? Is it really truly about finding your other half that will complete you? Or maybe you believe in that hope or that destiny or fate that is going to bring you together with the person you're supposed to be with. Maybe you believe that your life's mission is to find that true love, to find that soulmate. I do find it very interesting that the idea of soulmates has changed so much, into modern times. This is just me personally, but I had never really heard about the idea of the soul splitting and the gods being angry at humans and that was a punishment. I never really heard the backstory about soulmates until I started doing research for this video. So it's definitely not as epic romance if you compare it to the mythology for Egyptians or Greek mythology or even some of the other tales that you kind of see through history. Today it's really not as passionate, you could say. But some of you may believe in that mythology or the idea that this happened once upon a time and us humans are cursed and we have to go find our soulmate because we got split in half. There are many, many questions, but as I said, your idea of a soulmate is going to completely depend on you. Your version of a soulmate is probably completely different than my version. As always, I hope you enjoyed this episode of our bizarre and unusual world. What do you guys think about soulmates? Do you guys believe in soulmates? Do you go with a more modern take? Do you like some of the mythology behind it? Do you think that you have a soulmate out there, or have you already found your soulmate? Do you think that you have found your one and you guys have fused together and now you are complete?
Mini me, you complete me.
I love to hear your guys' thoughts on these. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a lovely day, whether you are in a relationship and you're going to go have a nice romantic night, have a good one, or if you're in the singles club, high five, my friend. Happy Single Awareness Day. Thanks so much for watching, lovelies, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.